Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for another Flosstube episode. Hi everyone, I'm back. 2 videos in 1 week. Who is it? Elizabeth of 2021. I was just feeling a little bit motivated to talk about cross stitch today because I've been doing some cross stitch lately. Only a few things, but I do have a big finish to show you. So I thought, even if it ends up being a short video, I thought I would come do a Flosstube update. I have done several videos since my last Flosstube. I published a Nashville Needlework Market vlog and recap and showed off all of my haul, just kind of like a peek into the behind the scenes of what market was like. You've probably already seen it, but if not, I'll link it for you down below. I also just published yesterday, well, as I'm filming it, it was yesterday, a new kind of what I craft in a week vlog that ended up being mostly knitting, but some cross stitch and some sewing and a little bit of frame shopping and yeah, a lot of a new stripy sweater. So yeah, that'll all be linked down below along with my Instagram page. I post there in my Instagram stories pretty much daily. I try to, you know, take photos and quick snapshots of what I'm working on throughout the week. So yeah, I also will say that about half the people who watch my channel are not subscribed. So if you watch me a lot, you might want to check and make sure you're subscribed, and then that way all of my videos will come into your subscription inbox if that's something you're interested in. I feel like such a bad YouTuber. I never ask people to subscribe to me, but I'm actually very, very close to 30,000 subscribers, which is insane. So that's why I was looking at it recently and why I started thinking about it. But yeah. Anyways, happy spring. It is not my favorite season. It is my 3rd favorite season. I am a summer girl, and then fall, and then actually spring's my least favorite. I think I prefer winter over spring out as well. Yeah, spring in Texas is full of pollen, allergies, rain, birds. It's just kind of an annoying season here. The weather is getting nicer and sunnier, which I appreciate, but then we have like crazy rainstorms and we have all the pollen dripping onto trees and cars and just everywhere. And we have too many birds that like to make my front porch, my back porch, my pool their home. And I hate it. So spring isn't my favorite, but I am happy that it means we're moving closer to summer, which is my fave. So yeah, anything else big to update you guys on? I'll probably wait till the end. I've got some upcoming fun cross-stitchy stuff planned, but I'll save that towards the end of the video and we'll get into the cross-stitch that I've been doing lately. I have a finish. Can you guess what it is? It's the Loveboat sampler by Ardith Designs. So I got this at Market 2023 last year, my first year at Market. I just fell in love with the colors and the model that Amanda had in her room. I knew I had to stitch it, and when I showed it, I think in that Market video last year, a couple of my friends who I was going to see at Stitch North commented that they wanted to start it too. So at Stitch North 2023, a few of us did a start along basically, and I finally have mine finished. It was my goal to finish it before I went back to Stitch North 2024, and I did it. It should have been done a long time ago. I had most of the stitching done several months ago, but this big chunk of blue at the bottom was what was holding me up because I just am not like a fill-in stitcher. I love the look of the big houses on samplers, but anything super repetitive I can get like bogged down in and avoid. So so for this one, that blue at the bottom is what held me up, but I did it. I finished it. And here's what it looks like. Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is my Loveboat sampler. I stitched mine on 36 count Charlotte's Pink linen by Weeks Dye Works. And I did my own over-dyed floss conversion. And if you go to my Instagram account, I posted all of my floss colors in a post so that everybody can see, you know, have access to my floss conversion if they want it. And I just pulled from my stash. So I used a mix of like Weeks, Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and some Roxy Floss, or one color of Roxy Floss, because I realized my dark pink red color wasn't exactly what I wanted when I went to start this last year. So I'm pretty sure this red is Falou Red from Roxy Floss. But otherwise, everything kind of came out of my stash. Oh, this is so pretty. So I did try to go buy a frame for this weekend. I went to my local Michael's. Michael's was having a 70% off custom frame sale, which is pretty much the lowest the frames go. And I spent a lot of time picking out a frame and a lot of time waiting for help, only to then be told by the manager of the store that because the framer wasn't working, she couldn't take my order. And I tried to explain that I didn't need the framer to do anything. I just wanted to give somebody the exact dimensions and specs because I like to do all of my mounting myself. And they wouldn't take my order. So I didn't get to take advantage of the 70% off, which was kind of a bummer. But honestly, there's plenty of places online that do custom size frames. So I'm just going to order a frame a different way. And also, I don't want to frame this before the end of April because I want to bring this with me to Stitch North to show my friends. So I obviously don't want to travel with it while it's framed. So it, you know, the frame is not urgent. I will pick something out online. I'm thinking something kind of like ornate and gold is what I want. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. If you're looking for other people stitching this, I started this with my friends Shiloh, XStitchMD, and Elizabeth, Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, and Elizabeth just finished hers as well. She just posted her recent Flosstube this weekend. I will link that down below if you want to see another finished version. She used different fabric, different floss, and hers is gorgeous as well. And I think Shiloh told me she needs to restart hers because she just was not into her fabric choice, which was the same color, but it ended up being a 30 count. And she just really didn't like the loose like 30 count. And so I told her I would bring her my extra 36 count. So I think she's going to restart hers on the 36 count like mine. So yeah, I need to remember to pack that extra fabric with this for Stitch North. Next up, I had a new start. And this was my market start. I bought this Home Sweet Home chart from Shakespeare's Peddler. This was not in my most recent Flosstube episode only because Teresa had not released all of her kind of market previews until right before market. So I hadn't seen this one until after I recorded that video, but as soon as I saw it, it went immediately on the must-buy list. And I was lucky enough to pick it up at market. Teresa's room was amazing. My friend Liz, hello from Liz Matthews, talked about this in one of her most recent Flosstubes. I guess whichever one she talked about her market recap, and about how Teresa's room, like Teresa just like killed it. Like all of her new releases, all of her stuff was amazing. And I like wholeheartedly agree. I think she has some awesome new designs, and I got a couple of them, but I showed them in that last video. Anyways, Home Sweet Home is the one I decided that I just had to start right away. And luckily I had almost all of the floss in stash. It calls for a lot of colors and some are used really sparingly. So I would say if you're kitting this one up yourself, maybe look at the chart and see which ones, like I feel like this is an easy one to make substitutions on because a lot of the many different colors are used in the kind of like floral section around the house, and you could totally change those out for like whatever you have in stash. So I'm going to recommend that because some of the colors, like really you only use them for like 10 to 20 stitches. So don't go buy a bunch of new overdyed threads if you have stuff in your stash that'll work, if that makes sense. Here is my new start. I am stitching Home Sweet Home on 40 count Forbidden Fiber Praline. And I believe this is my first time stitching on Forbidden Fiber fabric, and I absolutely love it. I picked up this fat quarter from the attic when I was there in September with Liz. And I think it's a gorgeous, lightly kind of mottled neutral. And I wanted the white to show up, but even on the model, like on the photo of the cover, like the white doesn't really pop. So I was like, it doesn't have to pop. I just need it to show a little bit. And if you see at the bottom of the chart where that white fence, I just barely started it, I feel like it shows up just enough. I did have to switch to a brighter white than what was called for just for my fabric, but yeah, I love it. So I am using all of the called for except for that tea, that purple, the Home Sweet Home. You can see it here on the design. The called for is Hyacinth from Gentle Arts, and I didn't have that in stash, but I had a bunch of other purples. Let me see, what did I do with my project bag? I ended up switching mine to Gentle Art Red Plum, which I think is just a slightly pinker, darker purple. And I think it's really pretty. So I just didn't want to order a whole skein of that Hyacinth when I already had other purple options. I love this design. I love the teeny tiny motifs. It is very like tedious in terms of the fact that I'm like switching threads a lot. So it's like slower to stitch on because like, you know, I'm constantly switching for all these tiny little motifs, but I have fun with that. I like all the little tiny motifs and I don't mind color changes. I'd rather do that than fill in. So I'm having a lot of fun stitching on this one, and I've probably worked on it about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times over the last couple of weeks. Another new development though, is that I can't really stitch on 40 count anymore without magnification. I can, but it's not fun and it's slow. And so finally I broke down and got readers. I had tried using readers before. I had tried using the magnification with those headlamps before, but the headlamp, while I love the headlamp with the light, it's just heavy after a while. And so I don't like wearing it all the time. And I have a really great lamp at my stitchy spot, so I don't need that headlamp unless I'm like traveling. So I just bought some plain old readers off Amazon. I think I got a 3.5 or a 3.0 magnification. Do they say? I don't know where they say. I'm pretty sure I bought a 3.0 and they work great. I don't know why I was resistant to having to like finally start using some magnification. And I don't know why it's such a difference between 36 and 40. On 36 count, when I'm stitching one strand in hand, I don't have any problem. But just that little jump to 40 count, it slows me down so much. And honestly, these are kind of a game changer. The only thing that's annoying, and I'm trying to figure out how to work around it, is when I like to watch TV while I'm stitching or YouTube. And so I wear them like way down on my nose so that like when I'm looking down, I have the magnification and then I can look over them at the TV. And like, I'm assuming that's what most everyone does, but I don't know. I'm tempted to try out one of those like little tabletop magnifiers. That way, like when I look up, I don't have any magnification at the TV. And when I look down, the magnification stays in place. But I stitch on my couch and I use my coffee table, and I just don't want like another lamp or device to have to store. So for now, I'm using readers, but that does mean that I have to make sure I have my readers near me, and it's just like one extra step for stitching on this. So yeah, maybe I'll try them out on my 36 count. Maybe it'll make me even faster on 36 count. I also kind of don't want to become dependent on them, like make it so that I have to have them for everything I stitch on. But also I feel like as I get older, you know, I turned 40 last year. I turned 41 in a couple of months. So I feel like as I get older, it's not like my eyes are going to get better. So I think I might just have to embrace the magnification lifestyle now. And that's what it is. Yeah. So that is my new start on Home Sweet Home. And this is my official, pressure to my friend Lauren, New Hampshire stitcher, that she should go ahead and start this and join me. Okay, my last WIP, I'm pretty sure I worked on this since the last time I showed it to you guys. I'm pretty sure. If we've already seen this, I apologize. This was definitely a few weeks ago when I worked on this, but it is my Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlett House. I absolutely love this. I got this at the Attic in Phoenix back in September, and I bought the full overdyed silk conversion that you can get from the Attic. If you just call them up or email them, they will give you their silk conversion. Yeah, so here is what it's looking like. I made it all the way down to the bottom. I'm pretty sure this bottom motif over here is the new motif I put in since the last time I showed it to you guys. Let's see, do I remember? I think I'm using Fox and Rabbit, 36 count, just the ticket. Oh no, it's not Fox and Rabbit, it's Tabby Cat Linen, just the ticket, 36 count. With, like I mentioned, overdyed silks. So a lot of dinky dyes and gum nuts and Gloriana and just assorted other overdyed flosses that are absolutely beautiful. And I use 1 strand over 2 on anything I stitch on 36 or 40 count. I'll give you some close-ups. This one is so fun to pull out and just do like one motif whenever I have like a couple of hours. So that was my floral motif sampler, and that was all of my finishes and WIPs. Now I kind of want to talk about spring stitching and smalls stitching for a minute. I have several spring WIPs that I want to get back to. And one I think I definitely talked about in my WIP parade, and that was my Hands Across the Sea sampler, Where Flowers Bloom. And I showed you guys before. I'm so close to a finish on this. So close. I just have to finish the little flower buds in the side of the border and like 2 motifs over here and I'll be done. So this one's definitely going to come with me to my little stitchy spot by the couch so that when I'm feeling motivated to cross stitch, this is kind of like the one I pick up because it's so close to a finish. And it's so springy, flowery. I started this in the spring of 2021, I believe. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I showed this in my WIP parade. I was so close to a finish last year that I put in 2023 and then didn't finish it. I probably will just pick out that 3 and switch it to a 4 when I finish it. Assuming I get it done this year. Yeah, this is, I'm stitching with all the Avera Soie de J called for silks on a 36 count something. I'll put it on the screen. So this is one that is high on my list for spring stitching, like first on the list. Another one, which I know is in my WIP pile up here, but I couldn't easily find it, is a Blue Flower Tudor Swans. I started that, I think last spring or the spring before, and I really want to get back to that one. And then the other thing I've been thinking about is small, like smalls exchange stitching. So I am going to 2 cross stitch retreats coming up. I am going to be at weekend 2 of Stitch North in Toronto, or Bramford. Oh, I always forget the city. There's like a Brantford and a Bramford. I think it's Bramford. I'm really second guessing myself. Anyways, I'll be there at the end of April, and so will so many people that I am so excited to meet. Of course, my friends Elizabeth, Frizzy Lizzy, Shiloh, XHMD, Kathleen from Situation Normal. I went with those 3 girls last year. They'll be there again this year, and I cannot wait to see them. And then my friend Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. She's one of the first Flosstubes I ever watched back in like 2018, 2019. And I've just always been obsessed with her. I love her. We talk all the time on Instagram, so I consider her a friend, but we've never met in person, and she's gonna be there, and I cannot wait to meet you, Julie. Also, my friend Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher, we actually started talking about a year ago, right around the first Stitch North weekend that I went to. So we've been friends for a year and haven't ever met in person, and she's gonna be there. I'm so excited. Alexis from My Amazing World, she'll be there. Michelle Bindi Stitchy, I've met her a few times at Market, but she'll be there. There's just gonna be so many people. I know I'm missing people. There's like I have a whole list on my phone of people I'm very excited to meet. So anyways, I've been thinking about a Smalls Exchange because there's a Smalls Exchange at Stitch North and then there's a Smalls Exchange at StitchCon. I will be at weekend A of StitchCon this year, whatever the early June weekend is. And I've been trying to decide if I'm going to do the Smalls Exchange or not, and I'm not like 100% sure I am. I did participate last year at Stitch North and it was so much fun, but I just don't know if I have time or the desire to gift a small this year. But I am kind of eyeballing some charts and things that I really do want to stitch to see. I don't know if anything's going to happen, if I'm going to make it happen. So I pulled some fun springy and small charts to show you guys what I'm thinking about. Okay, first thing I'm going to go through are some Prairie Schooler charts that I pulled. You guys know how much I love Prairie Schooler. I don't know, like I've stitched so much Prairie Schooler. They're so classic. They're beloved for a reason. And I actually was laughing. I was watching my friend Liz, her new video yesterday, and she showed this chart too. And I was like, I just got that chart and now she's making me want to stitch something from it. She was showing it as possibilities for her Smalls Exchange piece. Or maybe it was for not a Smalls Exchange. I think she just wanted like a new birthday start or something. I can't remember. But it's the Pins and Needles chart from Prairie Schooler. And I love this little like sewing themed one here, the sewing machine, the log cabin. They're all really cute, but I think if I was going to do one for an exchange, I would probably do this one. Or the P is for pincushion is also really good. Or even the scissor holder. I've never made a scissor holder. I hope the glare is not too bad on that. Anyways, so that's one of the ones I'm looking at. Another one is a chart that I've actually already stitched, and I brought my finishes to show you guys. It's a really old one. It's book number 24, and it's called Prairie Birds. Very, very cute. I stitched mine. I have 3 of them. So they look like this. I've showed them several times before. I finished them as these little like wall hanging ornaments, basically. And then here is the third one. And so I was kind of thinking, I mean, this is kind of the perfect little small size and they're so springy and fun. I was looking at this bottom one that I haven't stitched with the orange flowers and the little brown bird. And when I did all of these, I pulled out of my overdyed floss stash to stitch them, just to make them slightly more fun for me rather than just doing the DMC, which the DMC is totally fine. I just really like stitching with overdyed. So I'm eyeballing one of these. Like this is probably the most likely thing, or maybe something from this next chart. I don't know. I'm really feeling the urge to stitch some Prairie Schooler smalls. I also pulled another chart that I have stitched from before, which is book number 35, A Prairie Garden. And they show it all as one piece. They also show it on the back, stitched into like an Afghan. This chart came out in 1992. Like an oldie, but such a goodie. And I have stitched the yellow flowers. Basically, I started this as like a giant piece. I was going to stitch it all together and then kind of ran out of steam. And I think I ended up cutting it apart and making pillows. I can't remember. But basically, I thought one of these could make an excellent little small pillow for a gift exchange. Perfect for spring. So that's on my list. And then I have one of the monthly series. This is June. And they show all of these little smalls over here stitched together, which I think are so cute. I think my favorite one is the bird on the little hill with the flowers right there. So that's also a strong possibility. And I just love the colors in this one. So, okay. Anyways, those are all the little Prairie Schoolers I pulled. And then I also grabbed floral etchings. What did I do with the second one? Yeah. I have floral etchings 1 and 2 by Heart and Hand. I got these last year and this year at Market. I still really want to do these on a chunky count fabric with pearl cottons. I just haven't made it happen yet. This is a reminder that I need to get on 123 Stitch and order the pearl cottons because I don't have anything. I don't have any pearl cottons in stash. So those are on my list. And then this is not a smalls exchange possibility. It's just something that I keep being reminded that I have because I feel like so many people pick this up at market. It's another Shakespeare's Peddler chart called Painted Flowers. And I actually got this last year when I was in Tulsa at the Silver Needle. It's so gorgeous. And it's just another spring one that I was thinking about just starting for fun. We'll see. Anyways, okay, that's my spring chart stash dive. Oh wait, there were of course that's not it. I pulled a couple of other charts from Lizzy Kate because I love a Lizzy Kate small. And while I was watching my friend Lizzy, Frizzy Lizzy's latest Flosstube, she was showing her spring smalls that she started. And I have stitched from the Summer Smalls book, I've stitched this long summer chart, and I think the other 3 designs are really, really cute, and I was thinking it would also make a really good stitch for like a smalls exchange. So, oh, these are so cute. Yeah. Oh, the little birds one. Okay, that's going on the list too. And then I also have the seasons like samplers. And so I've done autumn and summer. But I was thinking maybe the spring one would make a really fun little small exchange piece. So yeah, okay. That's all the charts I wanted to go through. Let's move into sewing. So this past weekend, I got in here and I like cleaned off my whole sewing space and finally sat down and worked on my picnic patchwork quilt a little bit. Picnic patchwork is a quilt pattern, a free quilt pattern that I came up with when I needed to make a baby quilt for my cousin Abby. And I published that as a video back in November, I believe. I'll link it for you down below as a free tutorial, a free baby quilt tutorial. And I had always intended to make instructions or publish instructions for various sizes of the quilt rather than just a baby size. And so I thought, well, let me try making a larger adult size picnic patchwork for myself. And I started that maybe a month or 2 ago with all using like pinks and red fabric. And here is what a couple of the blocks look like. I am obsessed with these cherries. They're so cute. And it's just 2 blocks. So it's this 9 patch and then it's this hourglass block. And I think I have a picture or video footage of what the blocks look like all laid out that I'll put in here. And basically this weekend I sat down and I made all of the half square triangles that will be made into hourglass blocks. I had just made a few hourglass blocks so I could kind of lay out the quilt and look at it, but I sat down this weekend and powered through all of the half square triangles. So these just need to get pressed open and then sewn together into hourglass blocks. And then I just have a few more 9 patches to make, and then I can put the whole quilt together, which is really exciting. So I definitely think this will probably be the next quilt I get finished unless something else pops up and distracts me. But I actually haven't been planning any quilts recently. I have plenty kitted, so it's not like I need to plan any more quilts, but yeah, I definitely have some quilt WIPs that I want to get back to. So I think I want to finish this one because honestly, it's probably only a few more hours of piecing the blocks and then a couple hours sewing all the blocks together and then quilting. So that one is very close, or can be very close to a finish. I will link for you the vlog where I started this quilt because I put all of my cutting instructions and fabric requirements in the description box of that video, like as a pattern. So if anybody also wants to make like an adult size picnic patchwork with 9.5-inch blocks rather than a baby quilt with 6.5-inch blocks, you are welcome to follow along with what I am making. The other thing that has been on my mind sewing wise has been one, more bag making. I have some knitting bags and some cross stitch bags that I've been kind of dying to get in here and make. And then 2, clothes making. I used to make myself clothes, not all the time, but I've made myself several dresses and skirts and a couple button downs. I mean, anything you can make, I like to make. And so clothes sewing has been on my mind. And one of the reasons is because while kind of doing a closet clear out, getting rid of some old clothes, I found a dress that I had sewn for myself back in like 2008 or 9. I might have a photo of me wearing it. If I do, I'll put it in here. And it's actually a little bit too big now. Yay for me. But it's got me thinking about wanting to make myself some more summer dresses or summer skirts. I used to really love the kind of maxi length flowy skirts, and I would make them out of just cotton quilting with a drawstring waist, and they were like the easiest thing in the world to make and so great for summer. So yeah, clothes sewing is back on my mind. I don't have any patterns or any fabric or anything like ready to go and in mind, but I've just been thinking about it. Okay, so with that, I have some happy mail. And I actually don't have any haul. I have some orders placed that should hopefully be here sometime soon, but I don't have any haul, which is wild. If you watch my knitting videos, you know I have plenty of knitting haul, but I actually don't have any sewing or cross stitch haul right now. I showed it all in my last market video. So let's get into the happy mail for a minute. I received a really lovely package to my P.O. box yesterday from Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. And she shared with me this adorable little Ruby Star Society notebook. If you've seen any of my tutorials, you know that my ironing board cover is the strawberry fabric. I'm obsessed with the strawberry print. So she sent me an adorable little notebook, and it's gridded, like it's graph paper or grid paper, which is perfect for like sketching out quilt blocks and stuff. Love this. She also sent me some of her favorite, or I'm assuming they're her favorite. She didn't include a note. Sharon, there was no note in here, or at least not that I could find. But she sent me some printed out sock patterns. I have been obsessed with sock knitting lately. So she sent me some of her favorite sock patterns, and then she made me some things, and my mom and sisters. I'll hold these all up individually in a second, but look at all these beautiful floss rings and little thread keeps that she made. And they are all labeled with names of me, my mom, and my sisters. So this is amazing. So there are 3 of them on this ring for me. Has my little initial on it with all the cute little charms. There's one with this beautiful like pink and blue kind of watercolory image, again with all the cute little charms. And then this one has another really pretty kind of like rosy flower and buttons and a key. Oh, let's see if I can hold these up and show them properly. So cute. And then she has one labeled for my sister Allison that's got an A on it. For my sister Lynn. I mean, amazing. And then for Sissy and Sarah, because they are both an S, so they each have ones that have S's and other cute little charms. These are adorable. Thank you so much, Sharon. That was so generous and so nice of you for thinking of us. I also received some happy mail from the Fat Quarter Shop. They have a new cross-stitch product that is, I think, something if you stitch in a hoop or in a Q-snap that you would use. I stitch in hand, so I don't think I would use these, so I'll probably put these in a giveaway at some point. But they're the little magnetic, like magnets on a cord, so you can kind of roll up your cross-stitch fabric and keep it out of your way while stitching. So I think they're called cloth biddies, and there's 2 of them in here. So super cute. They look very pretty, of course, because they're from the Fat Quarter Shop. So yeah, those are new from the Fat Quarter Shop. And then they just released a ton of new quilt patterns, and they sent me so many beautiful quilt patterns. So I'm going to run through these real quick with you. These are all from It's So Emma, their kind of publishing brand at Fat Quarter Shop. So this one is called Color Me Crayons. And this is a jelly roll friendly quilt pattern. Then they have Chantilly. Beautiful. Poinsettias. Peppermint bark. Really cool. Daisy patch. I think this one's my favorite. I really like kind of like the color block of using like big pieces of fabric like that. Really pretty. And then Early Bird, which is kind of like a flying geese type layout. And then they have two little patterns, and these are like baby sized patterns, and this one is called Honeycrisp. And this one is called Cross Trainer. I really like the look of that block. Really cool. Thank you so much to the Fat Quarter Shop. I will have everything linked in the description box down below. Okay, I think that's everything I have to share with you guys today. A little bit of a short and sweet one. I talked about upcoming cross stitch plans. I've got 2 retreats coming up. Also, I've got a little bit of travel in May for my dad's 70th birthday. We're going to Las Vegas to celebrate with him.